What's up guys, and welcome to another Netease ladder game here. This was played, what was it, today? Yeah, it was played today. So yeah, this is going to be between Colorful and a 120 or 120 or Tara? Yeah, yeah, he has so many names honestly. But either way, yeah, spawning in the bottom left we have Colorful. He'll be playing Blue Night Elf, and his opponent, 120 or 120, will be playing as the Red Undead. Yeah, honestly, can't really find any suitable tournament replays to cast for the channel. Yeah, it's hard to see or hard to pick, and honestly, let's say aside from like the lack of spectators, I don't really feel like there's much need to prioritize tournament over just whatever else, because it's still Warcraft 3 in the end, and most of the time it is just going to be standard. And if I want to find something more wacky and wild, ladder is probably gonna yield more successful results. So yeah, for that, we'll just go back to the replay here. We have Warden first for Colorful. Not too sure much on Colorful's preference of heroes here, but Warden is going to be obviously very aggro. Not sure if it's going to be completely better than Demon Hunter, at least on this particular map, as there's a suitable amount of creep camps here, and I guess Warden will do alright against mass ghouls, but we'll have to see if there's enough XP on the map to get quickly to level 5 or not. I don't know. Either way, double archers, which is something not a very common thing to see, but of course with the early ghoul threat, it seems like it was very well warranted. Here comes Death Knight, out and about, but no aura has been learned just yet. We'll just switch over to 120s a bit, and he did have the ability point, but it seems like he just went straight into the aura, and yeah, a bit of a scuffle here between the two players, but nothing too big actually comes out of it. Ancient of War has actually stopped creeping, or at least hasn't even started, so a bit of an interesting start here for both sides. We're neglecting their first creep camps, not exactly getting any sort of advantage or another, and yeah, they're slowly building up their armies. At least Colorful is. He is already up to, I believe, 4 archers. 1, 2, 3, and it seems like this is the 4th. So yeah, that's a lot of archers, and that is a lot of ghouls. A lot more ghouls than archers, in fact. And yeah, we'll see how this actually turns out, as it's going to be 4 archers versus 7 ghouls. Yep, 7 ghouls and the respective heroes. Ancient of War can offer its services if it wants to, but yeah, that is a lot of ghouls still. I have no idea what the Warden actually learned up, and I think we might be able to see it soon. If it was Shadow Strike, she might have. I don't know. Shadow Strike, actually, wow. All the abilities seem pretty not that great versus a Death Knight, but considering the Death Knight has aura, I feel like the Warden could maybe go for some cheap kills here with the Shadow Strike, but she's still holding on, and it seems like the camp is going to be finally started. Very interesting back and forth game so far, as it seems like this game of cat and mouse is going to end, and both players are just going to clear out their first respective camps here. 120 is going to clear out this camp at the bottom and right next to his opponent's base, so yeah, he will actually get rewarded fairly well with the Claws of Attack +6. Warden, on the other hand, is only going to be able to pick up the Greater Healing Potion, and yeah, we'll have to go back and try and defend as best as possible, as the ghouls are now running amok. I believe we're going to see a Shadow Strike here, and yes indeed, Shadow Strike has been confirmed. Warden is going to get surrounded, however, and a very nice denial there from the Ghoul of 120s, so still very on point with his micro play. Another Shadow Strike is actually going to finish the job on the second Ghoul here, and the Focus Fire coming in from the archers. Warden very low health as well, so needs to be extremely careful about that, but yeah, nice blocking there with the skeletons and such, and one Ghoul will at least run away. Warden is at level 2 because she did take the stronger creep camp first. Meanwhile, 120 is still a little far away from level 2 himself, as he was only able to take a green creep camp. Warden will be able to chase down that straggling Ghoul, as she does have the boots of speed. And yeah, things are not looking great for 120, as he did lose quite a number of units. Thankfully, armor supply seems to be pretty even on both sides here, so I have no idea if he replenished his units or if he just had that many units at the beginning, but either way, Black Citadel is on the way, Lich is nearly done, and the slaughterhouse has been placed down, so it seems to be standard Crypt Fiend transition into destroyers here from mass ghouls. Still producing a good number of ghouls, even though he still has a plenty of, so interesting, question mark, I think. I mean, oh, he just cancelled it, okay. So yeah, it's still rather questionable to see so many ghouls out and just kicking instead of actually being part of an army, but yeah, at least that will make the late game frenzy a lot better. That was extremely close Shadow Strike there on the Death Knight, but thankfully he did heal up with a pot, and yeah, is still testing his luck. He is only level 1, but the Warden is out of mana, so the likelihood of the Death Knight actually getting killed is fairly low, and the Warden will be pushed back by the Lich and Co. So yeah, so far it still looks pretty good for Colorful.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
He transitioned to tier 3 without much damage, and Double Ancient of Law is gonna slowly kick online, I guess. Ogomola camp is going to be taken down here, and Ancient of War is taking quite a beating, but I guess he doesn't really need that building later on, so hoping to get a good consumable item here. It is going to be Book of the Dead. Somehow Book of the Dead always comes to my mind, but I think that's just because this item is probably the worst that could drop from this camp. The mana stones and the health stones, definitely a lot better than this. I guess, what was it? Wonder the Wind would have been arguably worse, considering how yeah, unless you're versing Orc, it doesn't really bring too much onto this onto play, but the Book of the Dead is going to get sold regardless, and yeah, both players still just creeping it out here. Death Knight finally reaches a level 2, but he is pretty much the same level as the Lich, so yeah, you will be seeing the Death Knight just hugging the Lich for now on, because there's absolutely no way he's gonna go and harass with only level 2. Warden is getting there. We'll be able to hit level 4 after this particular creep camp. I am not sure if we're gonna see a second hero come out for Colorful, because he wants to put all experience onto that Warden. But yeah, if he does get a second hero, Panda wouldn't be all too bad. It will deal with those Crypt Fiends later on, but yeah, I imagine the Warden's just gonna go it solo here. Was able to pick up the Flute of Accuracy from this mercenary camp, so very nice item. Is able to hit most of those units for the Night Elf late game army comp, and here comes a pretty early attack here from his opponent. Frenzy has been upgraded. Warden is holding on to 2 ability points here, so is deciding whether or not to max out Fan of Knives or max out Shadow Strike. Cloak of Flames on the Death Knight, so that was picked up from the Ogre camp, and it seems like we are gonna have that massive fight. Fan of Knives, it seems to be Actually, I was gonna say it seems to be maxed out, but he does have 2 points into both abilities. I guess he was deciding whether or not to put a point ability into a blink, but it doesn't seem like it. And Bears Dryads getting exchanged for just ghouls, which is not that high priority of targets here for Colorful. He needs to go after those Crypt Fiends or those Destroyers, and unfortunately it doesn't seem like it's going to work out too well for him. Nova Coil onto the Warden is going to live with that greater healing potion, but it doesn't look good for his bears at least. 2 out of 3 bears have already been taken down. The last of the Dryads is currently on the run, is unable to retreat there, and yeah, it doesn't seem like Phantom Rise is going to be enough, I guess. I mean, it seems like it's going to be enough to take down the last of the Crypt Fiends, but we still have a good number of statues out, we still have a Destroyer up in the air, and of course those 2 heroes is pretty menacing. I don't know if we're going to see a 3rd hero because that is so weak to a level 5 Warden. But yeah, I don't know. Warden is already at level 5, as I have mentioned before, at 11 minutes, so it's pretty good. Very good, in fact, but yeah, the army comp needs to be a little more a little more powerful, I guess, to deal with those destroyers. True Shot Aura did get sold, unfortunately, and here comes the Dark Ranger for 120's 3rd hero, so yep. Just to add silences, I guess. Potion of Invisibility onto the Warden, which is interesting time to use it, but oh, Death Coil onto the Bear, and it seems like a Nova is going to finish it off. Shade is going to spot the Warden, who is invisible, and at least that does give some insight to Colorful that shades are a possibility in this game right now. A-bombs also being added to the mix here, so yeah, 120's army is looking absolutely dangerous. But of course, every late game undead army is probably the scariest to deal with because it's so much threats to deal with. Crypt Fiends, Destroyers, even A-bombs are pretty difficult to deal with themselves. Silence, Nova Coil onto the Warden there, gonna chunk her down to about 360. Meanwhile, Dryads and Bears are being masked up. Upgrades? So far no upgrades for those Dryads or Bears, but then again no upgrades for the A-bombs or Crypt Fiend / Destroyers. Wellsprings is currently on the way, and +1 attack upgrades for those Druids are also on the way as well, but is it going to last enough for this undead army before this undead army actually runs over this base or not? Colorful is going to go into low upkeep here, and he has a lot of units. That is a plus. He has a good number of Dryads, in fact. Not enough Crypt Fiends can actually deal with those Dryads. Actually, in fact, we only have 1 Crypt Fiend, so as long as this Crypt Fiend goes down, it's going to be very hard for those Dryads to be sniped. It's going to have to always come down to that Lich, who does have the Orb of Corruption proc there. Bear's going after the one and only Crypt Fiend. Another Phantom Rise is going to hit, chunking quite a bit on the A-bomb as well as the Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend is going to be forced to be Death Pact, and or not Death Pact, Dark Ritualed, and it is going to force 120 to retreat here. As I mean, even if he's able to kill those bears, it's going to be very difficult to deal with those Dryads because Destroyers, of course, cannot attack those Dryads. Oh, Nova Coil onto the Warden once again, is at 160 health. Probably should pick up an Invuln, that would be a wise idea. We'll pick up the Invuln, like I said. TP Staff is going to be used, just going back to base, and heal up with the Wellspring Moonwells. It is going to hit daytime very soon, but yeah, of course, Night Elves do have the Moonstone if they want it. And crucial, Ogre Lord Creep Camp on the top left. The Cloak of Flames was sold earlier, and if this Ogre Lord actually drops a good item, might be enough to tip the scales of this game for now. Warden is going to be running around and does spot this Ogre Lord at 10th. Is she going to go after the item? She is going to pick up the Ogre Lord, but the item, the Pipe of Insight, is going to be picked up by the Death Knight. So will this creep cam attempt cost 120 his entire army or not? I have no idea, but the Death Knight does have the TP scroll available. Scroll of Healing is going to be used, but the TP scroll is not channeled yet. I think it would be a good idea to channel that TP scroll right now, because his other units are going to be chunked fairly decently. And there we go, it's going to be a last minute TP scroll. The Warden is also going to TP out as well because of that reverse chunk. Cheeky 120 tried to go for a snipe on the Warden before he retreated. Was only able to get a bear, but of course both sides did burn their TPs. Death Knight with the Brilliance Aura, that is going to be very useful for statues, pretty much everything, but mainly the statues. As you can see here, one statue is already out of mana. I mean, they spam those abilities so much that it does make sense that they are going to run out of mana. Devotion Aura gets picked up here for the Dark Rangers, so lots of auras this game. I'm not sure if this one's going to be kept or not, because yeah, one armor does seem a little negligible, but for now it seems like he is going to keep it. Warden is going to go and try for an Acolyte harassment here. Phantom Knives should be able to kill most of these. One hit and Phantom Knives. Over Venom cannot finalize the kill, but it does indeed help a lot, I guess, in terms of damage. Ghoul's trying to fight it out as well, but the main thing is that the gold mine is no longer being mined off of, and it is going to force the entire army of the undead to actually try and respond to this. TP staff is going to be used, and honestly, just rinse and repeat that, and things should look well for you, at least if you are colorful. I guess the only thing you have to watch out for is trying to get caught in a trap, or just counterattacked, and that should be fine. Warden is very close to level 6, so Avatar Vengeance is definitely gonna make her appearance this game, unless something disastrous happens for colorful, or for 120 as well. Ogre Magi camp has been taken out, and the Health Stone gets picked up here, so half and half Greater Healing Potion, half and half Ring of Regen will be very good. Actually, it heals more than a Greater Healing Potion, doesn't it? I'm trying to remember if a Greater Healing Potion healed for 300 or 500, but I do know that the Ring of Regen is 2 HP per second. So
our sacred grove is being
yeah.
desecrated. Oh,
Destroyers have spotted this expansion attempt. Didn't notice this one, but at least it seems like it is not going to happen. What is with this minimap bug? I have no idea, but how can I get rid of this? It still shows for 120's map as well, so that's really weird. Like every time I see 120 pass this, I'm like, does he not go for the buildings or anything? But yeah, apparently there are no buildings whatsoever, so little head scratcher there. But yeah, other than that, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. Gold mines should be running out fairly soon for both sides. 120 is going to be a couple seconds late because he did get harassed early on. I have no idea if 120 is actually going to go for an expansion, or if he's just going to go for an all-in attempt here. But looking at supply, 70 for 120, 63 for colorful. Things are not looking good for our Night Elf player, despite having so many Dryads. Okay, here we go. 2 A-bombs. That is a lot of A-bombs to actually deal with if you only have bears that are going to get quickly chunked by those destroyers. Phantom Knives trying to do its best as well. Cryptians trying to kite it out as well. This is definitely not a fight that Colorful should be picking, because he doesn't have access to his avatar yet, but 1 kill away, and there we go, is able to get the avatar if she does pop it down right now. She is currently silenced, but it is going to be abolished right now, and the avatar is going to drop. Is there enough corpses to summon those little spirits? Sadly, I don't think there is going to be enough corpses on the ground I guess I guess you can use your own triads, but yeah, 4 spirits currently out in the battlefield.
Our warriors have
But good
engaged.
job from 120 to actually run away from that particular place. Oh, as I say that, he's just gonna run through all those spirits, taking free damage. Avatar can be attacked, but it is fairly high health. But it seems like the Avatar might just be chunked back. Nope. Warden is the next target. She does have the invuln if she needs it. Is going to go for a Shadow Strike Fan of Knives. Is going to get healed up with the Death Quill from the DK. And yeah, it seems like the spirits are just not doing enough DPS. At least they can't do damage by themselves. They need the support of the Night Elf army. But then again, Colorful is only at 40 supply, not that many bears,
Our warriors
and very
have
few
engaged
dryads
the
out.
enemy.
So this is not looking good for our Night Elf player. It seems like 120 is just going to probably just steamroll his opponent from now on, because he is 20 supply up ahead, and he just has a lot scarier units compared to what Night Elves offer. Heroes as well, level 5, and level 3 versus just one level 6. So I think I do value 2 level 5 heroes more than 1 level 6. So yeah, things just doesn't seem to be looking good for Colorful. He is going to uproot his Tree of Eternity. I have no idea if he's going to do that to join the fight, or if he's going to make his way over to the gold mine. But either way, attack onto the base. And right now Colorful is not choosing to choose this fight just yet. He is going to get a big hit from that Frost Nova. And a silence is going to be cast, abolished onto the Warden there, so she can go for more Phantom Knives, but it just doesn't seem to hit enough units. The Lich does seem to be, or at least the heroes seem to be main targets here, but the Death Knight still has plenty of mana for the Death Coil. Lich is going to get healed up. Dark range is pretty low, but it is not the target of the Warden. Avatar Vengeance still alive and kicking, and it is going to summon those spirits there. It is actually forcing 120 back, but since 120 does have almost 40 supply, actually he does have 40 supply advantage, I have no idea if Colorful's actually going to pull this through. Warden got chunked fairly low as well, but yeah, Avatar wears out. But of course, the duration of the Avatar Vengeance is the same as the cooldown of the Avatars, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. 120 just going for a little bit of regroup here, and he is going to attack once again. 4 destroyers in the air, 2 statues on the ground, only 1 Warden and a couple of units on the side. It doesn't seem like it's going to be likely for Colorful, and yeah, Warden getting chunked yet again. This is probably going to be game. Haunted Goldmine on the right side as well, so 120 doesn't even have to worry about the late game scenario, and that is going to be game. Hopefully guys enjoyed this decently length game. Not sure if that was non-standard. The beginning definitely seemed really weird, but yeah, the ending was pretty much expected. Undead is pretty hard to deal with in the late game, so yep, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys again next time.